Ah, yes, of course. I had completely forgotten that Kent Hovind had, quote-unquote, whacked me. But it took a whole goddamn episode to explain to the man that me saying I'm not a perfect, faultless being who can make mistakes doesn't actually make me wrong, and that, in fact, people who claim to be such are just about the biggest fools of all. In between mocking him for not understanding how names work, and missing the fact entirely, as pointed out by you lot, that he thinks my name is Sir Sic with a K. And I don't think that's a burn. It's just how little he bothers to check. He didn't even look at my fucking name. Anyway, let's wrangle as much value out of this turd sandwich as we can. And if you are wondering if I meant the video or Kent, the answer is yes.
They put these charts in our kids' textbooks saying that everything is related to a common ancestor, an amoeba or protozoa of some kind.
Oh no, how could they? They posted the conclusions based on the evidence that we have for those facts. Damn it. Don't they know they're supposed to put shit written by ancient idiots who didn't know how anything in the universe works? That's what we call the real science. Conclusions come first, then you ignore the evidence that doesn't fit, and since God did it, the whole common ancestry thing needs to be ignored, because otherwise our book though is gonna look real silly. Wouldn't want that.
This isn't science. None of this is science.
No, that's a picture, Kent. The science is actually far, far, far more complicated than that. And I do agree with you on the second part. None of that is science. That is to say, anything you say, do, and believe. None of it is science. I don't think you would know any science if it fell out of the sky and crushed you to death. I would feel very bad, though. Not because of your death, but that poor rock would be covered in you. Damn.
They've got on here a cow, okay? There are 450 breeds of cows. They probably had a common ancestor called a cow.
They did have a common ancestor called a cow, but they also had ancestors that were called aurochs. We know that because it literally existed within recent human history some 300 years ago before going extinct. It is distinctly different from domesticated cows and changed into such through human-guided evolution. And I'm sure you'll be like, but I would still say that it's a cow. But the fact that you didn't even bother to find out about it demonstrates just how little research that you do on anything you talk about. It's almost like you aren't interested in knowing things.
You can make a family tree of cows if you want and say they all came from a cow. That would be science.
It is fun having the world's least competent creationist tell us what we can do, what is allowed to be science, because he says so, from his little bunker where only a handful of people watch him in earnest, and everyone else is there for the memes. In fact, this video has more viewership from the fact of my previous response video than it would ever have gotten on its own. A fact that some have said, oh no, Sic, you fell for the bait. He's just farming you for views. But I didn't say it gets views on his channel, because seriously, try and find it. There's no small chance it's gone now, because he keeps getting banned. He really doesn't want people to go looking. He wants his hyperfans to sit in his little echo chamber where he can spin them reassuring lies for money. And this is the guy who thinks he gets to say what science is or isn't.
But to say the cow's related to the sunflower is not science. This is a religious belief.
Apart from the fact that it absolutely is, because all living creatures are, demonstrated by the fact they share huge swathes of DNA across them. The oft-touted example being that humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas, and while that's not strictly accurate, comparing DNA like that is difficult to say the least, they absolutely do share some, which you might also reply, well, that's because same designer, similar design. But you just said that they aren't related at all. So which is it? And not forgetting the fact that if he's all-powerful, surely he should be able to make bananas and humans that aren't any percent the same as each other. It's the blatant contradictions like those that let me know the people who genuinely like Kent are fucking idiots, as it's so obviously nonsense. Also, let's say you are somehow right about animals not being at all related. If that were the case, it wouldn't make scientists being wrong about it a religion. And it's absolutely hilarious for you to accidentally imply that being wrong equals religion. Although, where's the lie, to be fair?
So I pointed out correctly, and he's making fun of it here.
Gotta wonder how you could be correct, and yet I'm so easily able to make fun of you. It's almost like you aren't correct, and that's why you need to have 7 shades of piss ripped out of you at every opportunity.
that, well, we don't know. Okay, then admit it, you don't know, and don't call it science.
I think we said this last time, that science as it is used today is the search for knowledge, not the simple fact of knowing. And that, in fact, good science will never be 100% in its claim of knowing a thing, because unless it's falsifiable, it's not science. If you think you know for sure about pretty much anything, you're wrong. Because there's so many ways that you could be wrong, and the fact that an alleged science teacher doesn't know that really makes me question my choices in life that led me to interacting with this idiot. Oh, and his credentials too, I guess.
Read the definition of science. It's from the Latin word seer, to know. What do we know?
Would you look at that? Fuckwit McGee doesn't know the difference between etymology, aka where a word comes from, and a definition, aka how the fucking thing is used. And what do you know? The systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained. The operative word being study. You don't study something because you already have all the answers, dipshit. And just for fun, the archaic definition is knowledge of any type. Archaic, you know. Like all of Kent's beliefs.
We know cows produce cows. We know that. We do not know cows and sunflowers are related. It is stupid.
They are absolutely related. The DNA thing, again, it's an out-and-out fact, and denying so is something that you can only do if you're either lying or you don't know anything about genetics, and thus maybe shouldn't be fucking talking about them, let alone trying to debunk them or science in general. And of course cows produce cows. It'd be fucking weird if they didn't. But you know what happens when something reproduces? It's not quite the same as the thing that came before. And if you make something not the same as it was before enough times, well, that thing is going to be different. Perhaps so different you could call it a different species. If only we had a word for that.
Real stupid. Now, if you want to believe it, fine. It's your religion, though. Don't call it science.
Kent, can you do me a favour? Can you define the term religion? Because me and you, I don't think we use that word in the same way. Because to me, religion is a system of beliefs and practices centered around concerns of ultimate meaning, value, and often the divine. And I don't know what part of that covers. Oh, hey, would you look at that? According to all this evidence, it looks like living things appear to have evolved from a common ancestry. Isn't that interesting? And look, when we use the principles of that idea, we can make new things and make predictions that pan out. Well, that just doesn't sound very religious to me. Again, it's like you think that a religion is just believing something wrong. And again, I hesitate to disagree, but for wholly different reasons.
Okay, play a few more minutes there, brother.
Yeah, good idea. God doesn't exist knows we're sick, get it, and tired of your ugly mug, Kent. I mean, what is everyone here for, if not for me making fun of you? Twice, really.
You gotta start over every time? You can't just hit pause?
Oh, goddamn. Another thing I pointed out last time, the sheer bloody incompetence of this production. It's fucking wild. And that's with a producer. How can you presumably pay someone any amount of money to fuck up this hard? And that's a question for both Kent and his viewers. They are paying for this, and Kent hired someone less competent than he is. Damn it.
I'll let him play a little more talking then. Okay. Oh, right there. Okay, hit play here.
It's the opposite of, say, oh, I don't know, off the top of my head, creationism, where you already know the answer to everything, and all you have to do is figure out a way to make the things that we know about the world fit into that pre-established narrative. And if it doesn't fit, well, let's just pretend it doesn't exist. A bit like how... Oh, he paused there. He's probably going to compliment me on my incredible editing skills. I mean, how did I make those scissors cut the piece of paper without it even being real? Amazing. But Kent, it's not that hard. I'm not that good. You're just shit at everything. You're welcome in advance.
Now listen to me carefully, sick man.
Oh, I'm being directed dressly and curtly. I'm almost nervous, like I'm being scolded by a head teacher or something. Then I remember that I don't even believe that he was anything more than an incompetent substitute teacher, and that feeling evaporates. Don't fucking talk to me like that, Kent. You're less of an authority on anything than I am, and I'm a goddamn idiot. What the hell does that make you?
We admit ours is a religion.
Yeah, and seemingly by your definition that makes it wrong. Cool.
We don't claim that it ought to be taught in public schools at taxpayer expense.
I mean, some of you do, and if you don't, that's like the best quality you have ever shown. But no one is demanding that evolution is taught in school. It's taught in school because it simply is part of science, and your failure to understand that doesn't change that fact. Teaching kids proper science is a good thing, Ken. Also, is that a tacit admission that the thing you believe is categorically not science then? I mean, sure, but that is only because it's bollocks.
You want everybody to pay for your religion to be taught in the public schools.
No, I want science to be taught, because having a scientifically literate populace is demonstrably better than having one who bases their belief on shit that is demonstrably untrue. And it's not about the money, it's about whether or not it's as close to true as possible. And considering your ignoring of the point I made, that you have conclusions that you then attempt to force evidence into, and the fact that science does the exact opposite because it's science and evolution is the same, the fact that you did not address that, well, it means that you got nothing to counter with. Thus, you are admitting it's true. Fuck, you're bad at this.
How can you not see the difference? Take your helmet off. We can see, okay?
Fine, Sir Sic, face reveal. That's right, it was another larger helmet the whole time. And you don't even want to know what's under that one.
We don't demand that ours be taught in schools as part of science. We admit we believe God did it. It's a faith.
Oh, my non-existo. I have been memeing on the God did it idea as a joke for fucking years. A funny, pithy retort to how ridiculously simplistic and mindless the claims of people like you are, Kent. And then you just out and say it. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I need to lie down.
You have a faith. You don't have a science. How can you guys not see that?
Okay, fine. Then what is our version of God did it? There's so much complexity and evidence and understanding needed to fully grasp how evolution works and affected the life on this planet. No one thing can be said to be the thing that did it. Evolution is not one thing. I guess we can't see it because we aren't working from yet another presupposition that you are working under. That evolution has to be wrong and it has to be a religion. How about instead starting with, let's see where the evidence takes us, and let that be our conclusion. You know, like how we already did, you fucking doofus.
Okay, play a few more minutes, brother, then we're gonna...
The brother thing. I really want to know if that's just, you know, my brother in Christ, or more of a Hulk Hogan thing. Because I seriously wouldn't be surprised if Kent was that unironically ridiculous. Listen, brother, if you want to doubt the Kentomania, you gotta be doubting this 10-time dumbass champion. And that's a bet you'll be taking and never win, brother.
I think the fact that atoms can self-assemble is evidence of design.
Okay, you can think that too, but that doesn't make it the science. I mean, you can claim a thing to be evidence for your whatever idea, but that doesn't mean that it's good evidence. I mean, self-assembling atoms, whatever that's actually supposed to mean, could be evidence of design, but it's also evidence of, well, not that. I mean, if something can construct itself, then, well, potentially it doesn't need to be designed at all. It's a thing that makes itself. The reason? That could just be a feature of the universe. Hell, there could even be a universe creator who didn't design shit. They just throw a bunch of stuff in a pot and whatever happens, happens. At the end of the day, design implies intention. And unless you can actually demonstrate that intention, you got nothing, mate.
The idea that in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth and God plus dirt equals humans, that's not a problem for me to believe.
Wait a fucking minute. You have this whole...
Okay, now listen, Sir Sic. That F word you use is not an adjective. It is a verb, okay? Learn some English. All of you morons out there use that F word like an adjective.
It is amazing how you can be so confidently, hilariously wrong all the fucking time. It beggars belief. Fuck, which I did say, although you don't know that. Maybe I'm saying fiddle under that bleep, but it can be used as both a transitive and intransitive verb, as well as an adjective, adverb, noun, and interjection. It is all of these things because language is how we use it. It is not a set of hard and fast rules that must be obeyed. Claiming otherwise shows yet another subject you are completely incapable of discussing with any depth of understanding whatsoever. I mean, you are a fucking mess. You fuck up everything you try. You're the kind of person who, given a simple fucking task like teach some fucking science, manages to fuck around so much that you end up with nothing but complete fuck ups. Honestly, fuck. Fun fact, if I didn't fuck up, that should contain at least one example of each of those things that fuck can be. Present that shit as an English assignment, I dare you.
Where did you go to school? You drop out of kindergarten or something? It's an adjective, not a verb.
Where did you go to school? Because you obviously at this point didn't teach it in any fucking capacity. It is absolutely an adjective and a verb. Words do not have single prescribed meaning. Fuck doesn't just mean to do a sex. And the fact that you don't understand that while trying to talk down to me is so goddamn funny and yet completely face-meltingly infuriating at the same time that I don't know whether to laugh or start launching huge chunks of masonry into the ocean from my trebuchet to see if I can beat my personal best skipping stone record while looking meaningfully into the middle distance. The record is 1, by the way. It's surprisingly difficult.
Get some real English in your vocabulary, okay? And quit using the profanity. It makes you sound stupid. To me, anyway. It makes you look real stupid.
I don't know, man. Using swear words versus saying things that are objectively false and claiming that you know better than basically the entirety of the scientific community whilst saying utterly idiotic nonsense. Yeah, I'm going to go with the person that swears as sounding less stupid. And I mean, it's a fact that people who swear a lot have extremely wide and deep vocabularies that they never fucking use. So, you know. Also, what part of this makes you think I give a single shit if you think that I sound stupid? You fucking moron.
Okay, so he's claiming, put me back on my slides here now, brother. Is that mine? Yep. Okay, good. These are some comments from the bottom of under this video they did about me, okay?
It wasn't a video about you, Kent. It was about the stupid things that you say. It's a subtle difference, but a difference nonetheless. The difference being, no one gives a shit about you and your personal life beyond the fact that you play at being better than everyone else, and yet these crimes keep piling up for some reason. But no, it's the fact that you keep saying dumb shit that interests people. You're just kind of there.
Yes, I think the fact that atoms can self-assemble is amazing design. Nuts and bolts are made to fit together.
Well, that's a terrible analogy. Atoms self-assembling is in no way comparable to a nut and a bolt going together. Atoms can have a shit ton of configurations that make them become all sorts of different things. We have this little chart. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the periodic table of elements. The fact that a handful of protons, neutrons, and electrons can be thrown together to make all of these is not even remotely like a singular type of nut fitting a singular type of bolt. You colossal twat.
Got to be the right thread pattern. Got to be the right spacing. Got to be the right diameter. A nut is designed to go on a bolt, okay?
And apparently you were designed to be the biggest idiot in the universe. And that is proof positive that there can't possibly be an all-powerful, all-loving God. Anyway, I think it's good to call it there, but we're going to make a regular thing of this. I haven't had a series in ages and they're just fun to do. Especially with someone endlessly saying wrong things about everything they say. So I guess I'll catch you all next time. Bye!
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Sic's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos. And she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the